So you're trying to fit things that already exist together in a new way.
It's all about landfill space and doing the right thing for the environment.
We look at transportation, we look at energy, we look at recycling, we look at composting.
The watts are creating more energy, so it's a double win.
It's really important to cut down that transit time.
If everybody did a bit, it would make a big difference.
If this can't work in Portland, it probably can't work anywhere.
Go Green, a Family Matters Earth Day special.
Hello, I'm K2 meteorologist Dave Selesky, and welcome to Go Green. Here in the Pacific Northwest, Go Green isn't just a catchphrase, it's become a way of life. In the next half hour, we'll meet everyday people, putting that philosophy into practice, finding new and unique ways to go green. Going to the local gym is one of the most common things we do, but we found a place to work out that's building more than just muscle.
I wanted to have a small neighborhood gym that had something special to it. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if we could make some electricity? Wouldn't it be fun? Some of the exercise equipment in the gym, when you get on and exercise on it, you generate electricity, and that electricity gets plugged right into a normal outlet and goes back into the building and helps power the building. If you have 5 people in here exercising vigorously, making electricity, that could be powering everything that the gym needs at that time, because we have a very efficient gym.
I chose the Green Micro Gym because this is basically one of the first of its kind that I've ever seen. I've been in the business for about 17 years, professionally training, and I've never seen a gym that had green technology, electrical ellipticals, electrical generating spin bikes. So what Adam has formed here is pretty much cutting edge, and I have not seen it anywhere else in the United States.
So this is an elliptical machine. It's remanufactured, and what we did is we retrofitted it. We took out the console head unit that they had, and we put our own console head unit with our own electronics that make it so that the electricity generated goes back to the building. And so when we get on, there's a generator turning in there, and this shows how many watts we're creating. And then if we want to watch Hulu, Netflix, we can do that on the iPad. And those iPads use 10 watts compared to a TV that would use 100 or 150 watts. You can very easily power any entertainment needs that you have while you're exercising.
I really liked the concept that when I'm putting out a lot of energy, it's actually going somewhere and doing something, rather than it just being a very selfish thing. I feel like I'm giving back at the same time.
So if you had a gym that had 50 machines and a green culture, you would be generating 5 kilowatts, which is a lot. My dream is that every piece of exercise equipment in the world generates electricity and puts it back into the building. That's my dream.
The more we educate ourselves about solar energy, the more we can address the pressing energy problems of today. We found a teacher using the power of the sun to cook up some environmental awareness.
If you could make a solar oven in 4th grade, what would it look like? The kids brainstorm materials, we get a list on the board, and then they build them. They get in little groups, they build an oven. So the items that you need are a banker box, black tape, black construction paper, glass, a safety razor or utility knife to cut the hole, aluminum foil, scissors, and the food that you choose to cook, and a thermometer. So once you've got your box and you've built the box itself, you're going to cut a hole in the lid, make the hole small enough so that the glass won't fall through. The glass has to sit on top of it. Tape the glass down to the lid so that it won't fall off when you open the lid. Put aluminum foil inside the box, put black construction paper outside the box, tape everything down really well. When you look inside, make sure you have a good visual side where you can tape the thermometer, because you need to be able to read the temperature. Make sure it's sealed so that the heat doesn't escape, and you're ready to cook. We put food in it, put it out in the field, then we go out, couple of times during the day, monitor the temperature. If they need to turn the oven so that it's following the sun. And at the end of the day, we bring them in, they record the temperature, they make a scientific observation. What do they see? What do they smell? As America, we need more scientists. We need more kids that are interested in science, that want to pursue scientific questions. And this seems like a good way to kind of start that.
To learn how to make your own solar oven, just head to the Family Matters section at KATU.com.
It's then pushed down into the chamber down below, which is heated up and extrudes it out of this unit right here.
Hi, my name is Carl Grimm. I'm with Metro, your regional government, and I'm here to talk about why mulching matters to the health of your children, your garden, and your local rivers and streams. Mulch is a covering on the surface of the soil that keeps weeds down without weed killer, and therefore it protects your children and pets from toxic chemical exposures. It also helps plants grow by adding nutrients slowly and by keeping moisture in the soil during our dry summers. Mulch also reduces erosion, protecting our rivers and streams from polluted runoff. The first step is always going to be to weed the area that you're going to mulch. Just make sure that you have a nice edge between your beds and your paths. So what I'm doing right now is putting in some edging for the path and bed interface, and I want to make sure that it seats well so it's good and solid in the ground. So now we're going to rake the path smooth, and then you want to put some kind of a layer either of cardboard or landscape fabric, and then you put the mulch on top of that. This is Oregon Filbert shell mulch. It's great for pathways. It lasts a long time, but not good for walking on barefoot. This here is a hemlock bark mulch. It's great for landscape beds. It lasts a fairly long time, not quite as long as the Filbert mulch. Compost is a good mulch for vegetable beds. The main thing to remember is don't pile it against the plants that are already there, because that can rot their stems. So that's pretty much it. Great way to make your yard look beautiful and be earth friendly. It's important to use sustainable gardening methods so you can protect your children from toxic exposures to herbicides and pesticides. Isn't that right?
Styrofoam, it's one of the most common packing materials there is. It's also one of the hardest to recycle. But we found a place that's giving Styrofoam a second chance.
Styrofoam is used to package many types of materials, from televisions, TVs, lamps, kitchen supplies, you name it. And it creates an enormous amount of waste in our landfills. It's actually a polystyrene is what it is. It's a polystyrene 6. Probably 90% of the Styrofoam packaging that's out there. Right now, in its present form, there really isn't much use for it. Styrofoam takes up a huge portion of landfill volume as well. So that's one of the things that we do here in our Portland division here in Total Reclaim is actually take the Styrofoam, run it through a densifier, and it reduces it down to a much smaller, more manageable size that we can then ship. It's ground back up and then turn into everything from lawn furniture to you name it. This is a 53-foot trailer. A 53-foot trailer loaded top to bottom, front to back is the equivalent of about 1,000 to 1,200 pounds of undensified Styrofoam. Pretty light material. What we do once after we run it through the machine, that material can then be reduced to the size of this pallet right here. This here is a little over 1,200 pounds of material. So this is our public drop-off area here. The customer just backs up to the door. One of our customer service representatives will come out and greet them at the door. We charge $5 for a car load and $10 for a small pickup load of the Styrofoam. Okay, this is our densifier here. So what this gentleman's doing is loading the undensified foam onto the conveyor here. It goes up into our shredder up here, which reduces it down to a smaller particle. It's then pushed down into the chamber down below, which is heated up and extrudes it out of this unit right here. It comes out looking almost like a tube of toothpaste. We're currently processing about 40,000 pounds every 5 to 6 months. So you're looking at about 80 truckloads of material that we keep out of the landfill each year. It's all about landfill space and doing the right thing for the environment.
It's one of the 3 R's we always hear about, but this one has a twist. See how one man's putting a new spin on the idea of reuse to help artists make beautiful music.
My name's Philip Graham. I make hand-built microphones. My initial designs, I was really just looking for the simplest way mechanically to suspend the capsule out in free space with as little interference around it as possible. So some of the first mics that I built, I had found some surplus copper rings that I used to do that. Most of my designs, that's partly why I use a lot of found objects and scrounged and recycled parts, is really to keep the metalworking as simple as I can. For the most part, it's a matter of looking for pieces that have interesting shapes and fit the function that I want them to do. And so there's a lot of sifting through different bits and pieces of different shapes. This is sort of my stockpile of different interesting pieces that I found from one place or another. There's a bunch of standard electrical fittings here that actually make really great mic bodies. You know, I'm not even certain what that is. I think it's a juicer, but it kind of has a feel of a car part. And I also like working with bicycle parts and gears in particular because they're just so visually striking. They're beautiful. Oh, I have my favorite haunts for digging through bins of metal and trying to find things.
Yeah, after a while you get used to what you're looking for.
I definitely enjoy the reuse aspect of it, to look at something and feel like it was saved from the trash. But it was definitely a huge benefit as I was starting out making these, to not have to go through a fabrication shop or a machine shop, or take those extra steps between what was in my head and what I could actually make and get in front of me. Pure joy. I love watching my microphones get used. I just love music. I love watching musicians work. I love good music, and to feel at all a part of that performance, when you see a really good performance, that thrills me. It gives me a tremendous amount of pleasure.
We've only scratched the surface on the ways you can help make a difference in the fight to protect our environment. For more information, just head to the Family Matters section at KATU.com. There you'll find a complete resource center with video, links, and information to help you go green. For K2 and Family Matters, I'm Dave Selesky. Good night.